So my mother actually started CrossFit way before me, and she tried to get me to go in like one of my summer holidays from rugby, and I went along for 1 or 2 classes and I was just like, Mum, this is not for me, I don't like this at all. So that was that.
Man, them ready when I test this boiling. Girls come check this boiling. Show who's next, this boy is unaware whose head is boiling.
Hydration, key.
Man, them ready when I test this boiling. Girls come check this boiling. Show who's next, this boy is unaware whose head is boiling.
Regionals in 2014 was my second CrossFit comp. From that, I ended up getting the guys from CrossFit Yas getting in contact with me, and that's how I moved out there.
When you took that role, was it in part to think that you could concentrate your long-term career in terms of the games?
No, so like my degree's in sports coaching, so that's where my passion was. So when they offered me a coaching role, I was like, yeah, get in, this is awesome. But yeah, and then 16, when we went to the games and we podiumed, we all agreed that a few of us would try and go individual. And then 17 regionals, yeah, I was a complete mess. But what's awesome is, like I learnt from my mistakes. And 18 regionals last year, yeah, I went and showed that I was ready to handle the pressure.
Having topped the UK leaderboard, Elliot has spent the last 3 months in London to be closer to his coaches.
I went out to Yas as a coach, and that was my role, and training was on the side. What I've kind of realised the last few years is that I've got a bit of potential to do quite well in the sport, and balancing a full-time job and the training volume is very difficult. And we've realised, we can coach for the rest of our lives, and we can be part of Yas or the development of Yas or whatever it is for the rest of our lives. So we approached our bosses last year and asked if we could have a block of time where we could focus just on training. So.
And it's your passion, isn't it, coaching?
That's the thing, like, I love it, I absolutely love it, and if I'm going to do a job, I'm going to do it properly, so I'm going to spend an hour trying to make everybody better at whatever they need to get better at, and make sure they have a good class, and that's when balancing coaching and training is really hard. Hello, darling. How are you?
I know every interview must go this way in some capacity. Like I'm pretty sure every interview.
Do you remember Lauren from Strength in Depth?
When you and Jaimie obviously both competing together, how does that work? I
mean, Jaimie actually really likes to watch me if she can, whether it just be on the screen or whether it be like go out and watch me. But I'm very much, I get too emotionally involved and it just drains me. So I have to separate myself when she's competing and just wait for her to come off. Because like just a proper sports fan, just screaming at the TV or whatever. The awesome thing with Jay and I, and this is going to sound real cheesy, but we are just like best mates. Becky Boo, get on camera. That's my future sister-in-law, everyone.
What are your thoughts on the season as a whole?
It's different. Yeah, it's different. I mean, a lot of people from a lot of countries have qualified that could never have qualified in the old structure, which for me doesn't fill me with as much fulfillment, or like I don't feel like I've necessarily earned the right to be there. Now the depth is so good in the UK, you can't afford to have weaknesses, and not that I was lucky, but I was just the most consistent out of anybody in the UK in the Open. It's different. I'm not complaining. Like, I'm going to the games again, so it's an awesome achievement. But I think this year's just going to be about learning for everybody. So the French is a month before the games. We're not going to try and peak for it, as it were, but we're going to use it as a test to see where I'm at. So all the hard work, all the volume work is done at that point, like 4 weeks. Yeah, you are going to make some changes, but nothing drastic. But at the French, depending on what the workouts are, I can learn, okay, well, this needs to improve in the next 4 weeks.